Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to those who are here for Triangle Center for Spiritual Living's Sunday meditation, and to those of you that are joining us from the comfort of your homes, welcome this morning. So today's meditation is titled Peace in Uncertain Times. The intention for our time together is to help the mind find peace and balance, especially to help ourselves cope with the glaring uncertainty of our world at this time. Or in short, we are in the world, but not of it. I invite you at this time to arrange yourself in a comfortable seated position and to close your outer eyes as we venture inward. Let's begin by taking both our hands and placing them upon our heart. Take a deep breath in through the nose, hold for a count of 2, and listen to your own heart beating in your chest. Exhale fully, count of 2. Inhale deeply again. Listen. With each beat, may it remind you of this beautiful energy, life, prana that is within you. With each beat, allow it to take you deeper within, into the internal experience of your own being. Take another deep breath in through your nose, hold, and long exhalation out, allowing yourself to find this presence, comfort, and grounding within you. Slowly release your hands onto your lap. Let's take the chin hand mudra. We'll replace the thumb and index finger together, allowing the palm of the hand to face upward, creating a seal of energy within your body. In this hand mudra, the index finger represents individual consciousness. The thumb represents universal consciousness, merging the one with the all. Continue intentional breathing. Deeply in, hold, and release completely. With each breath, allow yourself to go even deeper. Now focus your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. Simply focus and notice if you begin to see any shapes or colors, or perhaps just complete emptiness and blackness. No judgment here. Just simply observe. We are practicing being the observer without a reaction. Breathe in and let it go. Allow your body to let go of any tension in your face, relaxing your forehead, allowing your eyelids to feel heavy, unclenching your jaw. Complete relaxation of the face. Now move this relaxation downward towards your shoulders. Release any tension, your arms, and then down towards your hips and your legs, your feet. Just let it go. All of that tension was in relation to thoughts that don't serve you. Let it all go. Continue breathing. Simply stay present, noticing the movement of your breath as you breathe in and out. Begin to notice any sensations in your body, feeling the coolness of the air coming into your nostrils as you breathe in, and the warmth of the air leaving your nostrils as you breathe out. Notice if you begin to feel any tingling sensations in your fingers or your toes. Whatever you are experiencing right now, just simply notice it. Be the watcher of the experience itself. Allow yourself to find peace, joy even, in this simple respite of silence and disconnection from the outer perceived chaos. You deserve this reconnection with inner spirit. Spirit is alive and present within you always, just without the screaming headlines. When we become still, quiet, and turn within, there it is. There you are. Breathe into this knowing presence within you. Exhale all else. You are completely present in this now moment, hanging out with Spirit. This is all there is in this moment. It's okay to realize that you may have been feeling uncertainty, stress, anxiety, and fear in your life lately. But let us remember now that those feelings are a reaction to the circumstances around you, which is creating a future that has not happened yet. For any of us who've been practicing science of mind principles or any other spiritual path, we are aware that the energy we put toward anything today, positive or negative, creates our experience of tomorrow. In every moment, every situation, we must choose how we are going to feel about it, raised vibration or lowered. What do we ultimately want to create? Even though we may not be able to outwardly control what out there is demonstrating at this time, and at times it can be painful to witness, what we do have control over is how we consciously react and respond to the challenges and mayhem of the outer conditions presenting themselves. So breathe in deeply, and in this moment, choose to let all that negative energy go. It serves no higher purpose for you and keeps you in a state of tension. Release it out of you into the ground, into the earth on your exhale. Deep breath in again. And this time, release with an open mouth exhale, like you mean it. Let it go. Choose to find peace and serenity in the simplicity and power of this very moment, simply being here with your divine self, giving yourself permission to feel free of negativity, to just be centered in spirit, to let go. As you are taking your deep breaths in, I want you to see and visualize a beautiful, radiant white light surrounding you. It can be crystal white or with the tint of any color that comes to you. See this living light of love entering your body with each breath. Welcome this light through the crown of your head and downward into every fiber and cell of your body. Visualize this radiant light soothing your body, your mind, and all the ways that you may need healing in this moment, giving you strength, a feeling of being grounded emotionally and physically. Now, with your exhales, begin to visualize this darker, gray, murky color leaving your body, flowing down into the earth. So inhale beautiful, radiant light energy. Exhale dark, gray energy out of your body. Create the specific intention to let go of all that no longer serves you on every exhale. Negative emotions, unnecessary thoughts. Let them go. Exhale them out of your body, out of your mind, and your inner being. Inhale, radiant light. Exhale, all the weight off your shoulders. Inhale, exhale. As we continue to go deeper and dive further into our inner exploration, let's come back to that third eye chakra, the center between your two eyebrows. Notice how you feel now. Don't let your mind win. The ego may get in the way with its yeah, buts, making you doubt yourself, doubt the power that you possess to choose your responses. Pay no attention to that energy. Notice it, be aware of it, take a deep breath and affirm to yourself that you are in control of your peace, your happiness, and your well-being. Take another deep breath in. Exhale as you let it go. As you're allowing yourself to align with inner spirit, let's introduce a beautiful and powerful mantra that you can repeat or come back to anytime the mind or ego begins to get in the way. Repeating this mantra as many times as you need and truly saying it with conviction and love for your highest self. As I surrender to the uncertainty of how outward conditions are unfolding, I am in control of how I choose to feel. I am safe and I am divinely guided. I choose to align my thoughts with spirit, living moment to moment from a place of peace. I am in this world, yet not of it. I'll say it again. As I surrender to the uncertainty of how outward conditions are unfolding, I am in control of how I choose to feel. I am safe and I am divinely guided. I am in this world, yet not of it. Mark this space of stillness and peace as a favorite, so you have easy future access. Repeat this mantra as many times as you need throughout the day, or create a mantra of your own that feels right to you. As we go into our music meditation, remaining in this peaceful stillness, it is frequently a time where it's very normal for our minds to begin to want to cling to something, a specific thought or memory, a daydream, or perhaps even fear of the future. It will go in many directions, and that's okay. Simply remember to use your breath whenever you feel yourself drifting away from this present moment. Use your breath to come back to yourself, to this moment right here, right now, wherever you are. Take a deep breath in and a long, soft exhale out. time to release your mantra. Slowly begin to bring awareness to your breath, inhaling, exhaling, feeling any energy within your body, perhaps any tingling or temperature sensations in your fingers, arms, feet, or toes. Feel your heart beating. Connect to that rhythm within you. In this moment, let's take this opportunity to send our gratitude for all that we have right now. For your body, for your strength, for your awareness, and for the opportunity to be able to reconnect with spirit within. Take another deep breath in and let it go. As you move forward with your day, remember that no matter what emotions are triggered by external circumstances, you are in control of how you react to them. Do not allow yourself to be consumed by fears or negativity. This too shall pass. We are not alone. Let yourself always come back to the idea that you can choose to find joy and peace no matter what life throws at you. Finding joy in the simplicity of life and being grateful for all that you do have right now in this moment, always coming back to the idea that you are in control of your state of mind. Remind yourself regularly that you are guided by whatever spirit, energy, or force that leads you upon this path in life. May you be healthy, may you find peace within, and may you be guided by love. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we hope you'll stay tuned at 10:15 for our celebration service this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living and our Sunday celebration service. Whether you have joined us here in the sanctuary at 4 Points or you have invited us into your homes through the power of live streaming, we are very glad that we are all together today celebrating life and love and each other. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being this community spiritual director. My pronouns are she and her. And the Spiritual Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We're a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to really create for yourself a personal relationship with the divine, a space and place for insight and inspiration and revelation, as well as loving support to grow into the highest and best expression of yourself that you possibly can. We're part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And Centers for Spiritual Living has probably around 450 spiritual communities, special focus ministries, and teaching chapters throughout the world in over 30 countries. Centers for Spiritual Living is a positive and practical faith, philosophy, and way of life that is dedicated to transforming lives by providing powerful spiritual principles and practices for our individual lives and for exploring new opportunities to really be able to assist the world to actually become a world that works for everyone. That's our vision statement, and we're always striving to assist in whatever way we can to bring that forward. So my announcement for this morning, the big announcement this morning, is I would like to just really alert everyone or remind everyone that the season for nonviolence begins June 30th. January. Woo, time has been going by so fast. I got ahead of myself there. So January 30th, and it runs through April 4th. It's a global grassroots campaign that is dedicated to raising awareness about the transformative power of nonviolence. The season was established by Arun Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's grandson, as a yearly event celebrating the philosophies and the lives of Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. The season marks the 64 calendar days between the memorial anniversary of the assassination of Gandhi on January 30th and that of Reverend Dr. King on April 4th. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King says, "I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word." I love that. And Robert Lawrence Smith, in his book, A Quaker Book of Wisdom, says, "A leap of faith is required to if we are to believe that nonviolence can heal a violent world, that turning the other cheek when struck instead of striking back can end a fight. We need faith to believe that by loving our enemy, we can eventually transform him into an ally, that even when nonviolence fails to achieve peace, it can succeed in curing hate." So my invitation for all of us is to really take time during these 64 calendar days to really practice nonviolence in our own lives, in our thoughts, those thoughts that we can have about ourselves that can sometimes be so violent, in the way that we speak to others, in the way that we do the things that we're doing, in the way that we're living our lives, to really practice nonviolence and to see how we can shift things in our own lives and in the lives of the people that are around us, in order to be able to actually then touch upon and shift the lives of people even beyond our immediate communities. I would like to thank Michelle Love for her beautiful meditation that expanded the container that our service will unfold within. So thank you very much, Michelle. And now I would like to invite Sean Shockey up for our announcements. Woo!
Good morning, everybody. And welcome back to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Reminding us once again to stay in the flow. That's been my mantra all week. We started last weekend, or last week, last Sunday, talking about staying in the flow. And that word has been on my mind all week. Every time I get upset in the traffic, as I generally do, I would remind myself, you need to get right back in the flow, buddy. Straighten up. So anyway, just reminding you, help me stay in the flow. We can do this together. All right, everybody. We've got a few announcements to do. Okay. Today is our final day to bring a friend, share the joy January. The invitation is to consider joining us for the prayer workshop that will be facilitated following the service. It will be held right here at 4 Points by Sheraton from 12:15 to 2:15. If you did not bring if you did not bring a lunch, the suggestion is to go to one of the nearby restaurants and get something to go. Bring it back here and join in the fellowship. The cost is free and love offerings are always accepted. And reminding also that Mr. Shockey did bring us some dessert for the day also before here. Number two, our Wednesday evening services for 2025 are called the Wednesday Experience, a look at life through meditation, musings, metaphysics, and magic. Each week, the evening will be facilitated by a host of ministers, practitioners, and others who will share an insightful, revealing, and perhaps provocative reading of story and then facilitate a meditation. Following the meditation, we will all have an opportunity to share ideas with each other around the reading or story and whatever came up for us during the meditation. The service will once again be held on Zoom 7 until 8:15. Spiritual education is one of the many ways that we grow spiritually. This is a save the date announcement and an invitation to participate in our foundations class. The foundations class is a 10-week entry level class for the study of the science of mind. It is personal, it is a personal exploration of the 10 core concepts and their application to the process of daily living. The length of the course is 10 weeks, beginning Tuesday, February 4th, and running through Tuesday, April 8th. The class is held on Zoom from 6:30 through 9:30 p.m. There is also one full day prayer workshop on Saturday, March 8th from 9 a.m. through 4 p.m. The cost is $250. You can hold your place by registering with a $25 deposit. The text we will be using is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Another book, Living the Science of Mind, also by Ernest Holmes. It's recommended but not mandatory. Please consider joining us for this wonderful class. It is truly a game changer. This is a very important announcement for an evening of fun, laughter, and musical comedy on Saturday, February 8th. Join us as we welcome international performers and recording artists Armand and Angelina. They have been gracing this community with their music, their insight, their consciousness, their joy, and their presence for many years. They have entertained us and raised us time and time again. I guarantee that you will have a great time. Okay? The concert is here at 4 Points by Sheraton at 7. It is entitled Chance for a Sing Along. Chance, Chants, for a sing along. The suggest love donation is $20. Please RSVP for info at trianglecsl.org. If you are not able to join us on Saturday or would simply love to experience more of the two of them, they will also be doing the meditation, the music, and the message at our Sunday celebration service on Sunday, February 9th. The talk title is There is Only One Race, the Human Race. The meditation, as always, will begin at 9:45 and the service at 10:15. Later Sunday evening, join us for our annual Super Bowl and chili cook-off on Sunday, February 9th. We have been doing this for many years, and it always proves to be a very fun evening of great food and fellowship. The cost of the evening is $5 or a large pot of your favorite chili. The winners receive cash prizes, a trophy, and bragging rights. Please RSVP to info at trianglecsl.org with the number of people in your party and whether you will be bringing chili for the contest. Please welcome Michelle Love back to the podium.
Thank you, Sean. Good morning, everyone. We have a very, very special flower dedication this morning. This is for Reverend Dusty Rippelmeyer from the TCSL community. 15 years ago this month, the lives of our community were forever changed by the arrival of Dusty Jill Rippelmeyer, PT, MPT, MS, GCS, NCS, RSCP, and aspiring minister. The alphabet of ministers. She first served TCSL as a practitioner until her 2012 graduation from the Holmes Institute with a master's in consciousness studies. She then became the associate minister and right-hand woman for senior minister Reverend Denise Schubert. After her ministerial ordination on November 14th, 2015, she took over the role of TCSL's senior minister on Christmas Day, 2015. Since 2025 represents a decade of Reverend Dusty's service as the spiritual director of our community, we wanted to publicly express our gratitude for her many, many contributions to us and to this world. With her adept leadership, we successfully moved from Jones Franklin Road to Bearcat Way and survived the difficult challenges of the COVID years. She regularly delivers or hosts 50 or so Sunday services every year, along with giving perhaps half of that many Wednesday night services. She's a gifted teacher of both CSL certified classes, such as Foundations, and of leadership workshops, such as book studies, prayer, and the Enneagram. Every year, she does dozens of hospital or facility visits to pray with us before surgery, to wait with friends and family, anxiously seeking word about the condition of a loved one, or to just raise the spirits of those who are sick or down. She has celebrated life's joyous milestones with us, leading wedding, graduation, and housewarming ceremonies, and supported us during our grieving by conducting uplifting and heartfelt celebration of life ceremonies when our beloveds have made their transition. She's also generous with her expertise from her part-time job at Duke Hospital, sharing tips when we have stiff necks, sore backs, or feet aching from plantar fasciitis. And no one throws themselves more wholeheartedly than Reverend Dusty into our social activities. Whether they are game nights, service activities, gourmets for God events, or special holiday celebrations, her commitment to taking care of us at a personal as well as an ecclesiastical level is epitomized by her long-standing tradition of rising before dawn on Thanksgiving to begin cooking the turkey for a community meal after a special Thanksgiving service. That day, she not only nurtures us on a spiritual level, supporting us and practicing the transformative power of gratitude, but also on a material level, making sure everyone has a place to share a meal with others on this special holiday. She has prayed with us, played with us, laughed with us, and cried with us. Most of all, she has loved us through thick and thin. Through the times we were flying high and the times we weren't acting at our highest and best, she's there. In short, what more could we have asked for in our spiritual director? On this special anniversary, we wanted to make sure Reverend Dusty knows that we realize and give thanks to how blessed we are to have her in our lives and in our beloved community. So we raise our hands to you to proclaim, we see you, we appreciate you, we love you, we know who you are, and so it is. And so she is. Thank you, Reverend Dusty. Remember to bring the vase back. Okay. Okay, so the theme for the year 2025 is rising higher and growing deeper. Our theme for the month of January is stretching into possibility. Reverend Dusty's message is choosing possibility. I'm now going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And so it is. So I now ask you to turn within, closing your outer eyes, opening your heart and mind, and allowing the sounds of the crystal bowls to just wash over you. Please bring your attention back into the room, into your body. And I'd like to invite Rebecca Fouts up for this ceremony of who we are as individuals, as humans, the truth of our being, and this blessing. The Center for Spiritual Living honors both the truth that we are all created by God out of the same God stuff, and that there's a multiplicity of divine emanations, each individualized and unique in their own way as represented by this ceremony. Whether this is your first time with us or your 1,000th time, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are in the room physically or participating via technology, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your soul is full of joy and possibility, or your heart is heavy and your mind is consumed with troubles, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are brand new to the science of mind philosophy, or you have practiced it for a long time, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your skin, eye, and hair color are a rich dark shade, or you're the palest tint of color, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are straight, cisgender, man, woman, or you identify with the LGBTQ plus community, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your politics tend toward the red side or towards the blue side, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you were born and raised in this country or came here from a different land, or something in between, you are loved here just as you are. Whether you are married or single or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are in the first third of your life, the third third of your life, or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you feel your connection with God is the driving force in your life, or you aren't sure that you even believe in God, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Each and every color is beautiful, unique, and significant. They all combine together into an amazing whole. Thank you all for contributing your special vibration to today's service and to life itself. Thank you, Rebecca. And so it is.
Thank you, Michelle. Now I ask you to please turn within, closing your outer eyes as if you're comfortable, as I speak a word of blessing on today's service. So grateful in this moment to recognize that one perfect presence, that energy back of all of creation. I know it is spirit and universe, as love, as infinite joy, as profound wisdom, all of those amazing qualities that I know as God. I know that I am one with each of those qualities, as that is my source. I know that is the truth of myself, as I know that is the truth of each sentient being, that we are all spiritual beings on earth having this human experience, experiencing life through these five senses, showing God a good time. I speak a word of blessing on this Sunday celebration service, knowing that it is whole, perfect, and complete already, even though it has just begun. I bless Reverend Dusty in the glow of her anniversary, coming forth to deliver today's message, knowing that she is a hollow bone, a empty reed, just a channel for spirit to flow through her, knowing that each of us here at 4 Points, all of those that are watching online in real time and in the future, that we all listen with open ears and open minds and open hearts, knowing that there is something in that message that is meant for us, that will allow us to embrace the truth of who we are a little bit more this week. I'm so grateful for Sandy Hemingway for his gift of music and song today. So grateful for Michelle for her beautiful meditation, for her service to this community. So grateful for Ava back in AV, helping us be seen and heard online and in the room. So grateful for each person that showed up this morning to come in and hug each other's necks and have a little bit of fellowship before and after service. So grateful for each person that's joining us online as I speak, and each person that will watch us in the future, knowing that we are all important parts of this community, that we are all beautiful shining lights in the world. Knowing that we are all working together to build that world that works for all. And I ask you to anchor this blessing for yourself and for each other, saying, "And so it is." And so it is. Thank you. Today's reading is from Ernest Holmes. He says, "How much life, abundance, goodness, truth, and beauty can we mentally entertain? This is the measure of our possible experience. This is the mold of acceptance. The infinite fills all molds and flows forever into new and greater ones. It is the unborn possibility of limitless experience. We give birth to it." And so it is. And now please help me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Sandy Hemingway.
Everybody, this is a song you probably all heard before. It's by David Friedman. It's called "Trust the Wind." There's a voice that's softly whispering inside my head, telling me I'm gonna be alright. Saying let yourself be led where you are led. Don't hold back, don't put up a fight. It tells me trust the wind, breathe the air. There's a place you're meant to be, and you're already there. Open up your heart and let life in. You know that you can always trust the wind. When the world starts doing things that I don't understand, and I search my soul to find a reason why, in the dark of night I feel somebody take my hand and tell me you don't even have to try, for you can trust the wind, breathe the air, and know that there are helping hands around you everywhere. Open up your heart and let life in. You know that you can always trust the wind. Dreams have wings, thoughts take flight. All good things are streaming towards you every day. They hear our prayers, they know the way. I'm gonna trust the wind, breathe the air, let it take me on its wings and lead me everywhere. I'll open up my heart and let life in. I know wherever wherever breezes flow, wherever winding rivers flow. I'm going where I need to go. I can trust the wind.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Beautiful. And thank you first to Carol Cross for writing that beautiful flower dedication, and to this community for an amazing 15 years. I have been blessed to really serve alongside of some really amazing people, and we have done that within a community of even more amazing people. So I truly am the one that has been blessed over all of this time, and I'm very grateful. So thank you so very much. So a number of years ago, I came across a YouTube by a man named Benjamin Zander. He was at the time the conductor for the Boston Philharmonic. And the YouTube was entitled The Art of Possibility. And in it, he told a story that I want to share this morning. Some people may have heard this story, but it's been a long time, and it's certainly a story worth repeating. So apparently, in the late 1800s, 2 shoe salesmen were sent by their employers to some remote villages in Africa to sell shoes. So one of them wrote a telegram back to his employer saying, "Situation is hopeless. They don't wear shoes." While the other one sent back to his employer a telegram that said, "Glorious opportunity. They don't have shoes yet." So the circumstances were exactly the same. And yet the 2 telegraphs and the beliefs that they expressed came from 2 very different places. 2 very different attitudes, or 2 very different ways of thinking or behaving in the world, right? Situation is hopeless. They don't wear shoes. Goes along with the whole language of it's not possible. It cannot be done. It stems from an underlying belief in lack and limitation. The other telegram, "Glorious opportunity. They don't have shoes yet," really goes along with a completely different language, a language that really stems from an underlying belief in the allness of possibility. That even if something has never been done before, it can be done. It can happen. Notice that even the body language, right? Even the body language expresses that underlying belief in the situation is hopeless. The speaker's shut down. They're closed off to the flow of life, as Sean was talking about earlier today. Well, glorious opportunity really is open to that flow of life, to the expression of the good that is always available to each of us. Benjamin Zander says the 2 worlds are completely distinct worlds. In this world, possibility exists as luck. We might have it and we might not have it. In this world, possibility exists as the norm. Standing over here, we would say that the conditions of our lives are in control. That we're often battered about by them, and really that there's no way that we can change or alter them. Standing over here, right, we would say that God is always open and available and willing, ready to really express through us as the highest good that's available for all. That we live in a universe of limitless possibility, a universe that is always for us and never against us, and that there's nothing too small or too big in God. The truth is that the conditions do not matter. Those of us who have been involved with this teaching for any length of time would have heard that conditions are just effects, that they are really manifestations in form of the thoughts and beliefs and feelings that we have about anything. That what really matters are the beliefs that we hold, the words that we speak, and the feeling tone from which we speak them. That it's not the circumstances that are crucial, but it's what we say about the circumstances that really matters. Possibility is always a choice, and we can stand to live over here, or we can choose to live over here. Now, my talk title today is Choosing Possibility, and one of the very first questions that we can and should ask ourselves is, where am I standing? And where is it that I want to stand? If we're standing over here, but we want to be standing over here, what is it that we need to know, that we need to do, that we need to be in order to be able to stand in that allness of possibility that will allow us to really be able to choose possibility? Now, in Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements, he talks about a process that we all go through that he calls domestication. Domestication is the process in which we are taught how to live within the rules and the belief systems of the particular families or cultures or races or religions that we were born into. In the beginning, when we were very young, we didn't have really a choice in the matter, right? We were simply taught by everyone in our world how to live and how to behave and what to believe, and we bought into it. They told us what we could and couldn't do, and we made agreements with them and with life from that moment on. All of the agreements that we make about everything goes into a belief system which Miguel Ruiz calls the book of life, the book of law, the book of law. Now, out of all of the agreements that we make throughout our lifetime, the most important agreements that we make are the agreements that we make with ourselves. Don Miguel Ruiz says, in these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. In these agreements, you say, this is what I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things and some things I cannot do. This is reality. That is fantasy. This is possible, and that is impossible. The underlying truth is that when we have already made an agreement with ourselves about what we cannot do, then we could never be open to possibility. Even if we make an agreement about what we can do, it might not be big enough. It might not be audacious enough or outrageous enough to really live in the allness of possibility. So the invitation is for each of us to become aware, to do the inner work that's necessary to do, to become aware of the agreements that we have made with ourselves, to become more aware of them, to be willing to stand outside of that book of law, to let loose our stranglehold on all of the agreements that we have made about ourselves and our lives so that we can powerfully step into the allness of possibility. Years ago, I was immersed in something called landmark education. And landmark education is really a series of programs and seminars that really strive to bring about positive, permanent shifts in the quality, really, of our lives. Now, landmark education would call that book of law the context of our life. And the definition of context is a fundamental set of assumptions that we make, assumptions that we might not even realize are assumptions that go unquestioned in our lives, in which life just kind of happens. Just as in domestication or in that book of law, the contexts that we live our lives from and the possibilities that are available to us are given by the assumptions that are embedded in our cultures, our language, and the times that we are living in. Landmark says these default contexts determine our worldview. What's possible and what's not possible. What's true and false, what's right and wrong, what we think we can and cannot do. They travel with us wherever we are, they are, shaping our behavior, our choices, and our lives. So in our teaching, right, we believe that we live our lives from the inside out. So the truth is, it is those contexts, those assumptions that are really co-creating the experiences of our lives. Those things that we know to be true. Those assumptions that we have made. When we live our lives from default contexts, we often take for granted that things are a particular way. Oh, that's just the way it is. That's just the way I am. Right? And we don't think that they can be changed, that they feel solid and fixed, and that we somehow have to adhere to them or adjust to. We become constrained and limited to whatever that context allows. The underlying truth, however, is that we can become aware of whatever context we are living our lives from, that we are currently functioning inside of. We can become more aware of them, and we have the power within us to choose a different context. In The Art of Possibility, Benjamin Zander speaks to this idea of being able to create a context that is open to the infinite possibilities that are available to everyone. And he invited the listener to gain a greater insight into this idea by revisiting the famous 9. Maybe give me a little assistance back there. Thank you very much. By revisiting the 9-dot puzzle. Remember this one? So many of you may have seen this puzzle before, and maybe some of you have not. But as you may or may not know, the puzzle asks us to connect all of these dots using 4 straight lines and never lifting your pen or pencil off of the paper. I can see all you're trying to figure it out. Now, if you've played the game before, you've most likely found yourself struggling to be able to solve the puzzle inside the space of the dots, as though those outer dots created barriers, right? Benjamin Zander says the puzzle illustrates a universal phenomenon of the human mind, the necessity to sort data into categories in order to perceive it. Your brain instantly classifies the 9 dots as a 2-dimensional square, and there they rest, like nails in a coffin of any further possibility, establishing a box with a dot at each of the 4 corners, even though no box, in fact, exists on the page. So everybody hears, when they get the instruction, everybody hears, connect the dots with 4 straight lines without lifting your pen or pencil, and do it within the constraints of this box. That's what they hear. And the problem is that the problem cannot be solved doing that. So if we were, however, to amend the original set of instructions by adding the phrase, feel free to use the whole sheet of paper, then it's likely that a new possibility would exist. If we were to use this puzzle, right, as an example of how to create from a context of unlimited possibilities, we would see that every problem, every dilemma, every dead end we find ourselves facing in life only appears unsolvable inside a particular framework or inside of a particular context or a particular point of view. If we were to enlarge the box or create another framework or create a new context, in all probability, the problems would vanish and new opportunities would appear. Everybody with me? All right. So if we learn to really notice and distinguish the stories that we have been telling ourselves and about the world, then we would be able to break through the barriers of any box that contains unwanted conditions and create other narratives, other frameworks, other points of view, other contexts, right, that support the life that we envision for ourselves and for those around us. Right? Become more aware. We have the means within us to shift that framework to one whose underlying assumptions allow for the conditions that we really want. The invitation is to let our thoughts and our actions spring from the new framework and then just see what happens. You know, Ernest Holmes is always saying, prove it for yourself. How many here sitting in the room, you don't really have to raise your hand, but have ever heard of the parable of the wineskins in the Bible? Now, at the time of the telling of the parable, wine bottles were made from the stomachs of sheep. If the wine bottle was made from a fresh kill, the wineskin was soft and pliable, and it was capable of expansion. So when it was filled with the new wine, then it allowed for the fermentation process and for the expansion of the wine that occurs during that process. Old wineskins had lost their moisture and they would not stretch. So they don't allow for the expansion during the fermentation process. Doesn't sound good for the taste of the wine, I'm imagining. Now, in order to grow spiritually, in order to really step into the highest expression of ourselves that we possibly can, to expand possibility in our lives, we must have a new container, a new context. The old, outdated idea of ourselves and of the world will not expand to fit the new being that we are becoming and the possible life that we really wish to have. It can't expand enough to take that in. It's like the Emperor Nautilus, always building a new section, a new bigger section for it to step into. We have to let go of the old assumptions that we have made and be willing to step into a new context for life. In the beginning of the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz says, I want you to forget everything that you have learned your whole life. I want you to forget everything that you have learned over your whole life. This is the beginning of a new dream. And as I see it, this will be a new dream only when we become unencumbered by the old agreements that we acquired or that we made for ourselves out of the experiences of our lives. In order to create this new dream, we have to let go of the old agreements that no longer serve us, that do not allow us to really be open to receive the fullness of possibility that is available. The invitation is for us to return back to the blank slate that we arrived on the planet as, before all that domestication process. Back to the blank slate, back to the innocence that we arrived as. Now, while this might sound hard or a little crazy, if we could have the slides back up again, indulge me for just a moment. So please, there you go. See this circle? So let's say that this circle represents all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, all of the answers, all of the possibilities, and all of the solutions that have ever existed before and into the future. And I want you to understand that there's no outer boundary line. But I want to be able to use this circle. So this is what it looks like for today. Okay? Otherwise, it would be infinite. So taking a look at this circle, in your mind's eye, place an amount, like a pie-shaped or whatever, an amount that represents what you know that you know. Now, we know a lot of stuff, right? I mean, you know your name, you know how to tie your shoes, you know where to find a great cup of coffee, you know how to do your job. We know a lot of things. So in your mind's eye, place an amount that represents what you know that you know. And then I want you to do that same thing, place another amount inside that circle that represents what you know that you don't know. Speaking for myself, I don't know how to do brain surgery. I don't know how to fly a spaceship, right? There's lots of things that we know that we don't know. Okay, everybody ready? Got your little pieces there? So I would like you to consider that dot, that white dot in the middle of that blue circle, represents everything that we know and everything that we know that we don't know. Everything we know and everything we know that we don't know. Everything else in that blue circle and beyond, right? No boundary, is everything that we don't even know that we don't know. Everything that we don't even know that we don't know. So if that's the case, then in the scheme of things, what is it that we really know? And is it worth it to hang on, to refuse to loosen your grip on what you think you know and what you think and even what you think you don't know? Is it worth it? Because if we were to let go of that, then could we open ourselves up to an array of possibilities that we don't even know that we don't know about? Could we be willing to create, to co-create from nothing? From nothing. From that blank slate. Landmark Education says to encounter nothing as a freedom, we must pass through and beyond our initial and natural resistance to the very idea. When we are able to access nothing, we are able to create, design, and live with a freedom that's not available when we create from something. When we come from nothing, our inner world, our consciousness can be a clearing that frees the self from the self-imposed restrictions that we've placed on ourselves. It can leave us open to that allness of possibility. It can leave us open to really allowing ourselves to choose possibility. The bottom line is that we can be whoever we want to be. You can switch off that, Ava. The bottom line is that we can be whoever we want to be, right? We don't have to live from a default context. We can live from an invented context. Coming up in the future anyway, we can make up anything we want to make up. Make up something that's exciting and wonderful and fun. An invented context that's just as powerful and has just as much impact as the default context that's been running our lives so far. Landmark Education would say it's the difference between living a life of predictability, where your past becomes your future again and again and again and again, and a life of possibility, a transformed life. So the invitation this morning is to loosen our grip on this is just the way that I am, and to really entertain the possibility of a new beginning. To consider letting go of this is just the way that it is, and to having the humility and the courage to be willing to consider that there is more going on than what meets the eye. That there is more going on here than we can come up with or we can figure out with our own human perceptions. The invitation this morning is to create a whole new context, a new container for our lives, one with a new perspective that really allows for that which we do not know to be revealed without resistance. The invitation is to choose possibility. Now we can stand over here, situation hopeless. They don't wear shoes. Or we can stand over here, glorious opportunity. They don't have shoes yet. We get to choose. Choose wisely. And so it is. So I invite everyone to close your outer eyes and to turn within for a moment. To really allow ourselves to turn away from the world of form, turn away from the assumptions, turn away from agreements we have made throughout our lives, to allow ourselves to turn within to the center of our being. To that place that knows that there is an unlimited amount of wisdom that are available to us. That the only thing that we have to do to be available to them is to let go. And what I know about this space and place within us is that we are connected to it in ways that can never be broken. That it is who and what we are at our very core. We arrived on the planet, blank slates, divine lights, connected to this space and place. What is available is the allness of that presence and power. That anything is possible when we live in alignment with that. So what I claim for each of us today is ease and grace around being able to do that. Around being able to let go of the agreements that we have made over a lifetime. To recognize those that no longer work for us and to let them go. To know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have the power within us to create a new context, a new way of living in the world, a new context with a different viewpoint, a viewpoint that allows for us to be something other than this is just the way that I am, because that is not the truth of us. The truth of us is unlimited. The truth of us is that anything is possible. The truth of us is that we are connected to the universal wisdom, divine intelligence, and that when we live our lives from that space, that all of our good rushes to and through us. And that our lives are forever changed, transformed, shifted into something that we really absolutely love. And that as we do so in our own lives, we create the space and place and inspiration for others to do the same. It is the way of living our lives. Being able to choose possibility again and again and again. Recognizing that it allows us to tap into all that we don't even know. Can't even imagine possibilities. I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into the conversations. That my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken, and so I speak them and I release them into that law. Letting go and letting God be God. I invite everyone to anchor this prayer for yourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure, and this is the time every week when we offer this community some financial assistance to assist us to continue to be a beacon of light and warmth and love in the Greater Triangle area. Together we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are three ways that you can give, and they're here on your on this screen or on your screens at home. Visit our website at trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148, or you can actually mail your gift to PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. So I now invite everyone to place your hand over your heart with your gift or an intention for yourselves or for someone else, and we'll say our offering affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I live in an abundant universe that blesses I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. Thank you all so very much for your generosity. And now let's welcome back the amazing Sandy Hemingway back to his piano.
Thank you. This is a song by Daniel Namod and Seth Jackson. It's called We Can Try. Maybe we can never house the homeless, rid the streets of violence and crime, make the world a safe place for our children, but we can try. Maybe we can never feed the hungry, chase every warplane from the sky, do away with ignorance and hatred, but we can try. Sometimes I feel so helpless, 'cause all I can do is my best. But even the longest journey begins with a single step. Maybe we won't always find forgiveness, give our wildest dreams the wings to fly. Maybe we won't always love our neighbors, but we can try. Sometimes I feel so helpless, but I'm gonna do my best, 'cause even the longest journey begins with a single step. Maybe we won't always find forgiveness, give our wildest dreams the wings to fly. Maybe we won't always love our neighbors, but we can try. We can try, we can try. We can try, we can try, sing that with me. We can try, we can try. We can try, we can try. We can try to help each other. We're all sisters and brothers. No, it doesn't take much. Could be money or love. Just speak a kind word. Let another be heard. We can try, we can try. We can try, we can try.
Thank you, Sandy. That was lovely. I don't know if I've heard that one before. If you would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org and At the bottom of each page, there is prayer opportunities. Click on that and fill out the form, and we will get your prayer and know those prayers for you all week long. If you would like to dedicate some flowers for something or someone in your life, please send an email to info@trianglecsl.org or to Reverend Dusty at dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. Now, in the comfort of your own home and here at 4 Points, please stand for our last chance for our January affirmations. This is a call and response. Please repeat it with meaning. As I step into a brand new year, I commit myself to rising higher and growing deeper.
As I commit to a brand new year, I commit myself to and growing deeper.
Is this right? In order to do this, I affirm that I am a radiant reflection of divine love and wisdom.
In order to do this, I affirm that I am a radiant reflection of divine love and wisdom.
In order to do this, I embrace divine guidance and the profound peace that it brings.
In order to do this, I embrace divine guidance and the profound peace that it brings.
In order to do this, I declare that the divine flows through me, as me, celebrating my highest good.
In order to do this, I declare that the divine flows through me, as me, celebrating my highest good.
In order to do this, I stretch beyond any belief in lack and limitation and embrace my expansive potential.
In order to do this, I stretch beyond any belief in lack and limitation and embrace my expansive potential.
I am beyond excited about the transformation that is possible for myself and for the world.
I am beyond excited about the transformation that is possible for myself and for the world.
And so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. As I speak a word of gratitude for today's service, so grateful for the unfoldment of this beautiful service. So grateful for each beautiful person that showed up today, for Reverend Dusty's beautiful message, for this whole month of January to dive back into the basics a little and start the year fresh. And so excited. Grateful for what is to come and for what has already transpired. And so it is.
Thank you all again so very much for your presence here today. Thank you again, Carol and community, for the lovely flower dedication. Have a really magnificent week. Is anybody in the room staying for the prayer workshop? Is anybody coming in? Let me know. All right, have a really wonderful week, everyone. I love you.